Universities possess the aggregate of human knowledge, and yet the professors holding that knowledge rarely accumulate massive wealth. General knowledge, the facts, histories, and theories found in these halls, is practically useless for the accumulation of money. Power emerges when that knowledge is organized and intelligently directed toward intellectual independence if they require constant work. Because the traditional school system optimizes for general knowledge and the mass marketing of personal services, it structurally guarantees a lifetime of selling time rather than building wealth. True education stems from the Latin root educo, meaning to draw out or develop from within. It is a process of internal expansion, distinct from the modern habit of memorizing inputs. Massive capital generation does not require formal schooling. Henry Ford never reached high school, yet he became one of the wealthiest men in history. When accused of being ignorant in court, Ford countered that he could summon specialists by simply pressing a button. He demonstrated that education means knowing how to organize and direct specialized experts. Thomas Edison reached similar heights with only 3 months of formal schooling. His success came from organizing information into wealth-generating plans. Real education resides in the developed faculty to organize information into actionable strategies. General knowledge is merely raw material. The ability to direct it is the true asset. In the wage earner model, an individual trades personal services for capital, which flows into an income bucket and is drained by expenses. This model hits a ceiling. Income is capped by the limits of available time. Contrast this with organized capital. Specialized minds plan ways to use money efficiently, feeding a central reservoir with no ceiling. In this framework, competent, effectively marketed brains serve as the ultimate form of capital. Intellectual capital holds a distinct economic advantage. It cannot be permanently depreciated by market crashes, and it cannot be stolen or spent like currency. Moving from a professional role to true wealth requires abandoning the sale of personal services and beginning the acquisition of organized capital. Success in this transition requires a clear definition of a liability, any passive resource sink that drains economic energy without yielding leverage. The traditional primary home is a structural liability. While often labeled an asset, its mechanical reality tells a different story. Property taxes, maintenance, and mortgage interest bleed cash away from the owner into a liabilities column. Conversely, a true asset is a system generated in cash flow. Business equity and intellectual property pull capital in. They do not push it out. Money itself is inert matter, as worthless as a sand dune until it is mixed with efficient brains and specialized knowledge. High earners stay poor because they use their income to acquire structural liabilities. The wealthy use their minds to build self-sustaining assets. These financial outputs stem from an underlying mental engine. The subconscious mind functions as a mechanical receiver, cultivating any thought seed planted within it without judgment. This mental garden only responds to specific inputs. Thought impulses mixed with intense emotion or desire are the only signals the subconscious mind recognizes and acts upon. Over time, the subconscious translates these dominating thoughts into their exact physical equivalents in reality. Directing this process requires definiteness of purpose. This is the deliberate exercise of organizing a desire into a rigid, actionable plan. Wealth is the direct physical output of a subconscious mind programmed with a definite purpose and specialized knowledge. Because the subconscious mind does not discriminate, it will translate thoughts of poverty into physical reality with the same efficiency it applies to wealth. The fear of poverty is a destructive mental liability. It paralyzes reason, destroys imagination, and kills initiative before a plan begins. In 1929, the people of America began to fixate on the idea of poverty. This mass negative thought crystallized into a physical economic collapse. The collective obsession with lack literally materialized as the Great Depression. The fear of financial ruin was the mechanical catalyst for the ruin itself. The fear of poverty functions as a mechanical process, actively constructing financial liabilities in the real world. Every hour spent in dread is an hour spent architecting a personal depression. No single person possesses enough native ability or experience to accumulate a great fortune alone. Individual effort always hits a wall. A mastermind principle solves this. It is the coordination of knowledge and effort between 2 or more people, working toward a definite purpose in harmony. Andrew Carnegie built a steel empire despite admitting he knew practically nothing about the technical side of the business. Carnegie's primary asset was his ability to organize the specialized brains of his mastermind group. He controlled the capital because he directed the intelligence. The massive infrastructure of U.S. Steel is the physical manifestation of that organized intellectual capital. A network of specialized individuals aligned to a definite purpose yields a higher return than any static stock portfolio. This organized human capital is the engine that drives every great fortune. You must make a choice between the passive wage earner mindset and the active capital allocator mindset. Your education was likely designed to make you a cog in a system entirely dependent on selling your time for survival. True financial education is the process of learning to build, own, and direct those systems yourself. You must audit your mind, eliminating the fear of poverty and replacing it with specialized plans of action. Stop trading your finite time for money. Start organizing your specialized knowledge into permanent capital.